Hello and welcome to CIO Leadership Live. I'm Kathy O'Sullivan, Editorial Director for CIO in Australia and New Zealand. And today I'm joined by my good friend and colleague, Linus Lai, who is IDC's Chief Analyst for Australia and New Zealand. Hey, Linus, great to be chatting to you again.
Hey, Kathy, so good to see you again. It's that time of the year, isn't it, when we start to look into what's going to happen next year?
Absolutely. So, look, as we wrap up 2024, tell us how you would describe the year that we've had in technology.
Well, it is certainly an exciting year we've had, isn't it, Kathy? Obviously, the headlines were dominated by AI, but what we had learned, right, that things still don't go away, right? The things that we do need to get right in the enterprise and in government as well don't ever go away. And one of the largest things we saw was the need to make sure that our systems are up to scratch and really modernized for the new wave of automation and applications that are coming as well. So while we're very tempted to let AI take over the headlines, we must remember that, we're still in the midst of executing on very large swaths of digital transformation strategies.
So I know you've met lots of CIOs during the year, both at your own events and indeed many other events that you attend. So what kind of are the main challenges that you're hearing in the market from CIOs that they've faced in the past year?
Well, at the start of the year, I mean, we were looking at, a lot of spending and a lot of focus on infrastructure, right, to get all the infrastructure needed for all the data platforms and all the new applications that were being built as well. And then the shift and focused onto AI platforms, and the need to govern, right, these sort of models that were being used, et cetera, et cetera. But in the midst of it all was the underlying need for IT modernization, right? And when I meet up with CIOs, things like security, governance, right? Application, and even cloud modernization itself was taking place underneath it all. So while enterprises were very focused on that shiny new object there, CIOs were really concerned about, the underlying infrastructure and platforms to support all these new waves of applications, that were coming onto the scene.
So looking ahead then to 2025, what are we seeing in terms of spending on digital business technologies for the year ahead?
That's a good question. So looking into the IDC crystal ball, we're expecting IT growth to be stronger than GDP growth. So we're looking at a between 5 to 6% of growth in the country. And we also expect to see a lot more focus, right, on getting. I do expect that while this year we've seen a lot of growth in innovation and customer experience and sort of like the growth type of spending related to revenue and profits, I do see next year we'll need to relook at governance and security again. I think bear in mind, and we're coming into the end of the year, and this is typically the season, right? We get the most phishing emails, the most data breaches, it's a trend now that, end of the year is the best time, right? To have data breaches, if you were a hacker, because everyone's trying to finish up their work and everyone's trying to, click on emails and get work done, and try to finish up before the holidays. And I think we should expect to see, if we're not careful, right, some spectacular lapses as well. So focusing back on governance, on security, on modernization, I think is still going to be the cost of spending for the following year.
Yeah, the security story just never stops, does it? It's an always on for every CIO. So look, as you've mentioned, Gen AI adoption, of course, has been one of the big stories of the year. But are there any other emerging areas that you think CIO should be keeping tabs on?
Yeah, very interestingly, we just completed a new C-suite study, and just looking at the results, I'm very grateful that generative AI is no longer sort of like that new shiny object anymore. We're starting to see a lot more interest back again on ESG and sustainability initiatives and technologies. We're starting to see a lot more focus on digital um, business models as well, and the role of platform-based technologies to drive new business models as equal importance to generative AI, right? So it's not just generative AI in isolation, but obviously with automation, and data platforms modernization as well, I think we'll be able to get much more done on the sustainability side and on the direct to consumer, new business model reinvention sort of technologies as well.
And then finally, Linus, for those who are interested in reading more of IDC's research for this region, where can they go and what kind of research is available to CIOs or anyone in an IT leadership position?
Yeah, so we've got lots of new research coming out. We've got the CEO studies, we've got the C-suite studies that I talked about, and how IT is redefining its role. It's no surprises that IT is obviously playing a much more strategic role now, and obviously works with the business, and obviously executes right on digital business strategy with the business as well. So a lot of the new research also tends to be in the use cases for generative AI, if your readers and viewers are interested, because we've not only published 270 over use cases in each of the horizontal business functions, we've also published now about 18 reports in all of the industries. So we've got the use cases in retail, we've got the use cases in banking, in capital markets, in asset-based manufacturing. So we're happy to and proud actually that we've published so much in such a short time.
Well, I look forward to reading the research and catching up with you again in 2025. Linus Lai, IDC's Chief Analyst for Australia and New Zealand, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Kathy. Good to see you again.